Hi everyone, so today I'll be doing a review on the Homeworx by Slatkin & Co. 18-ounce forward candle in the scent Blueberry Lavender Cupcake. Fragrance notes list a blend of wild blueberries, lavender sprigs, whipped buttercream frosting, and vanilla cupcake, with an approximate burn time of 30 to 55 hours, and the pour date lists October 9th, 2022. I want to say that there was a later version of Blueberry Lavender Cupcake that came out in the wraparound photo label, but I really like the hobnail design of this one. I like that the glass correlates or matches with the color of the wax, which is also like a pale indigo color. It's like a mix between purple and blue. However, I want to say that a pro or a con, depending how you see it, is that the lid is very easy to come off. However, one thing that I do like about it is that despite the lid's super not stuck onto the base of the candle, is that you are able to easily stack this. So unlike, let's say, Kringle, for example, they have a suction type lid, but you can't really stack another candle on top, especially a Kringle candle, because the lid of the candle is slightly curved where you have to really balance it on top of there. Whereas Homeworx, it's relatively flat. On the Slatkin & Co. website, typically these retail $30. Home Goods, Marshalls, TJMaxx stores have these. All right, so the main reason why I purchased this candle is that the scent really intrigued me. I think it's because it's a floral gourmand. So think of Bath & Body Works Pink Petal Tea Cake, which that was a combination of like rose and cake, or even like a personal fragrance. So like Killian Love Don't Be Shy, that's orange blossom and I believe marshmallows. This one, I normally don't like lavender scents because they lean a bit like lavender essential oil, but I really pick up especially the vanilla cupcake. It almost leans a little bit like a dense muffin, where I don't really pick up a lot of the buttercream scent. But either way, it's a very pretty scent. The blueberry isn't too sweet, and I get a ton of lavender, but it's not like creamy lavender, and it's not like, at least to me, masculine or very bam in your face type of a lavender. So I think the cupcake note really tones it down and it makes it more appealing to me. Very almost like, if you think about this as a food, it's very carb heavy, dense cupcake. And overall, I think this smells exactly like the fragrance notes, maybe just more or less of some other scents. It's a new favorite of mine. I was a little bit, though, not pleased with the performance, but I'll get into that in a bit. The strength on cold, I would give it an 8 out of 10. It really intrigued me, and I like that it smelled really strong. But let's go into how it burned. Okay, so while burning, I would give this, if I'm being generous, it'd be like a 4 out of 10. So it's like very light. Heck, even like before I reached the halfway mark, I feel like I was burning it and it was like a 2 out of 10. I didn't see it, or I didn't smell it until maybe about like 5 or 6 burns, and that would already put me into the halfway mark, which was really sad. So I guess this is one of the Homeworx candles that picks up the longer you burn it for, and once you're past the midway mark, which kind of defeats the purpose of a whole candle, because I would want a lot of strength and throw like from the get-go. I wouldn't want to have such variation or such poor performance. Another thing I want to mention is that these wicks are the wicks that tend to mushroom a lot. So I did get a lot of the carbon ball fallout. I would have decreased my burn time. However, I found that with this candle, I had to leave it burning for longer hours. So let's say like 5-6 hours in order to get a stronger strength and throw payoff. So when I was burning it for smaller increments of time, so think like 2 to 3 hours, I was getting like even lower numbers, so more towards the 3 out of 10. When I left it burning for longer periods of time, I got more of like a 4 or a 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10 maybe happened like twice. But yeah, I'll also do a close-up of how the wicks look like, because these are the wicks that they don't fall entirely onto themselves where you lose a wick, but they definitely are leaning, and you'll probably see that in some of the videos that I'll show you. I ended up pushing them over because I felt like it was going to fall, so let me change the angle. All right, so here's an overhead view of how the candle looks like. I do want to make a note though that I did have to get my handy dandy wooden chopstick and kind of move the flames over because they were leaning, almost trying to go like horizontal or tipping onto their sides. I like it when Homeworx candles still have high flames because I only have about 15% less left of the candle. However, if you notice that these are very high, vicious, dancing flames, and yet I'm getting like a 4 out of 10. So that's quite unfortunate. It also has a lot of wick fallout. If you see like right around there, yeah, there are a bunch of mushroom fallouts, which also led to the wax being discolored. Strangely enough, I haven't seen much sooting. I would say sooting wise, it's maybe low-ish. I've only seen instances when I extinguish my candle, or like right before when I move it around and there's like a bunch of draft coming in and out. But as far as when it's like stationary and it's in my normal burning position, I don't notice any visible soot. So I think that the discoloration is mainly from the fallout, and I think the wick's shedding a bit. So yeah, if you can see right there, I do love it when Homeworx candles have high flames at this point, because typically what ends up happening with other candles is that the wicks kind of like get very puny and then your strength and throw is diminished. So while this one, I never got that big of a strength and throw, it's not like it's like decreasing. It kind of just stayed stagnant around the 3 or 4 out of 10. Oh, but to talk about projection, let's see, I'm burning this in my medium-sized room. Again, strength very low, projection. It pretty much just stays in my medium-sized room. It's not really going anywhere. And also it's one of those fragrances that the closer you get to the candle, you're like, oh yeah, I'm burning this candle. But it does look very pretty. I want to make a note that I have to kind of like get out of the room and then walk back in order to really notice it. I don't know if it's that I get nose blind to the scent, or maybe it's just that the scent's so light that I don't really pick up on it and I have to remind myself when I walk back into my room after I get like a fresh bit of air. But it's not like I smell it like in the kitchen, walking to the hallway to then get to the room. I walk into the room, start getting a little bit closer and like, oh yeah, there's the candle. So overall, if Homeworx could make this a lot stronger, my sweet spot for candles, of course, would be a 10 out of 10, but heck, I'd even settle for like a 6 or a 7 because the scent is very nice. I love floral gourmands. It's very intriguing. I think this is one of the better done ones. And surprisingly, I don't like lavender, but I like the scent. So hopefully, I don't know if the wraparound photo label version is a little bit better. And this has been sitting in my collection for about 2 years. So I don't think it got any stronger. I don't think that if I were to leave this sitting in my collection, it would get any stronger than like, let's say 5 out of 10 maybe. And I want to make a note that I don't even think a hurricane would help at this point, because as you can see, my flames are pretty high and strong. So I don't think adding even more heat to it would help much. Like the glass of it does get very hot, so be careful with these hobnail designs. And overall, this was a very pretty scent and a pretty packaging, but it gave me nothing. So yeah, overall, I wouldn't recommend this candle. I would say maybe if Homeworx ever does wax melts, I would recommend them, but definitely not in the candle. Like if you're looking for a candle, you want to burn it the traditional way, I wouldn't recommend this scent. It's very beautiful though, I do have to mention. Does the fragrance last in my room? No. I feel like I don't really get the scent while it's burning, and I don't really get the scent when I extinguish it. And it's not like it's lingering in the room. I mean, how much could a light candle linger in the room? So yeah, those are my quick thoughts for this Homeworx 18-ounce forward candle in the scent Blueberry Lavender Cupcake. Overall, I wouldn't recommend it, but it is pretty. So maybe if you're the type of person that just buys candles to collect and like to smell them on cold, then yeah, go ahead. Hindsight being 2020, would I have purchased this? I would say no, because I hardly ever spend the full retail price of $16.99. This is the candle that I chose, and it was lackluster to say the least. So yeah, there is my review. Let me know if you have any questions, and I hope you have a great day. Okay, bye.